Good day, everybody. Sorry for the little late start here. We're getting the server serving, the streamer streaming, getting those electrons moving up to that higher orbit just to bring you the best edutainment on the great interwebs. Pedro and I will be with you in just a moment. And that moment is here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. As always, I try to remember the date, and it always gets blocked out. It is November 14th, 2024. We're going to have a good show for you today. Lots of good stuff. We're going to talk about Trump. I know a bunch of you guys are tired of it, but ladies and gentlemen, he's making key appointments right now, and those appointments are going to affect the crypto market. But ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, my co-host, Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Oh, yeah. It's good to have all you guys here today. Thank you for showing up today. You guys are absolutely amazing. As always, we all know that it is game on. We are in the bull run, and this baby is ready to go. It's not ready. It's already. It's like it's in the mid of the charge. It's head down. Ooh, woo, right? And I don't think there is no what do they call them? The guys who go woo and like, anyways,
the
whatever.
Guys that go woo woo.
The guys who move out of the way for the bull and then throw little darts at it. Oh man!
If you hadn't asked me, I would have known that right off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's for whatever. Matador. There you go.
Matadors. That's right.
Wow, that's dude. Good Lord.
Crypto, welcome to the house, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys? Crypto, we got in the house. We got a few of the other norms. We got DYOR Lawton. What's up? It's good to see you. We also got Roland Rod. Shout out Extreme Car Care over in the UK. Good to have you. Got a lot of stuff going on, man. This is getting fun. Things are getting fun. I mean, they are. Dude, just the idea of Trump with the proposal of basically saying, if you're going to start a crypto project here in America, we're going to give you tax-free status. Like that's crazy.
It's absolutely 100% anti Elizabeth Warren.
Exactly. It just jacks the post. You talk about a stake in the ground, bro. That just happened. He just literally said, nah, bro, this is how it's going to be. Bam. And like, and it wasn't even, we'll get into that in a second. You guys, if you don't mind doing us a quick favor, please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. It is an off-the-chain day today. We got some dope stuff as Mr. Herlihy talks about.
Nice try, my friend.
McHollyhui, McHurlier, as he's already alluded to, and we're gonna go over some dope predictions in regards to some of the market. XRP is pumping, did exactly what we were going to say it's going to do on last night's podcast. If you missed last night's podcast, please go check it out over at Rumble and also on YouTube. But Rumble, because we're trying to grow the audience and trying to connect there quite a bit, please go watch it on Rumble. It's still DYOR Media Network over there. But also, what's interesting is that when you guys hit that like and that share button, it helps us out immensely. It shows that the algorithm that we actually are doing something or saying something right that really brings value to you. And whether it is or it's not, just please do it. Just joking. Just joking here. Just joking. JK. Or if you're Spanish, JA. But dude, I don't know why I'm doing that, dude. Anyway, but on the back end, please like, subscribe, and share button to your preferred or non-preferred social media platforms. That does help us out quite a bit, immensely, with the idea of really kind of getting the name and our show out there. And additionally to that, if you will, please tell us when you share it, a comment about yourself, where you're coming from, where you're at within the comment section, so you can let your people who you're sharing it with, let it know it's legit. And we are that interactive show that we really want to interact with our people and kind of get to know them, learn to love them, and just not learn to love them, just love them and get to know them and have a good time with them. So that's our show. That's what our stick is, going over real crypto issues, also along with real TA, where we kind of show you where the market's most likely going to go and give you kind of an edge in the market. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. My friend, how you doing today? It's a long time
I'm doing the let's say, Pedro, yesterday we streamed for about 6 hours.
We did.
And it was a long slog. Woke up tired today. As you know, it drains the brain of the essential nutrients it needs to just think and be a human when you talk that long. But it's good practice. It's good practice. We're going to wrap this up. And this morning, I woke up and my computer... What the fuck are you doing?
What's up, people?
My computer said, hey, man, I'm old now. I'm 4 years old, and I'm tired, and I don't want to stream today. And so I've been fighting it this morning. And my computer, like my brain, has been running at 100% cycles, but at about 2% effective capability. So that's how I'm doing today. So I'm going to count on the audience today to pump me up. Pedro pumps me up. Even behind it.
I do.
You know what Pedro did last night when I was tired? Usually I do this to him. I'm like, whoa, Pedro, that's going into that's way too deep for today's viewership. And Pedro gets like this. I really want to talk about that. Last night he did that to me. He goes, not Tom, tangent, viewers crashing. And I was like,
it was like actually it wasn't the best. By the way, speaking of it, there it is. Okay, it just popped up. Perfect. Yeah, we went on some good tangents, and it was actually pretty fun. So I actually liked it. And we had good tangents. Sometimes we have those bad tangents. We're just like left field, like space cap hat, like it's crazy. But this time was actually really good. Shoot, 24, baby, 24, I think, or what was that?
No, I was trying to do 42 for the Infinian crowd.
Oh, 42. What's up? There we go. 42.
In the commodities trading world, in the pits that I worked, it would have been 4 on the forehead here for 10 for 40, and then 2 out here, or 2.
Forgive me, that's the last bite. Man, this food is good.
Actually, that was selling. If I was buying, it would be 4 at the forehead and 2 out, or 2.
4 deuces. That's what I'm talking about.
And in other pits, that was 40,000. So you got to be careful what pit you're in. That was T4. Well, my camera's reversed, so maybe it was 42 for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us over on the Rumble crew there. For you new guys that are just showing up there, give us a minute. It takes us a while to get the show started and going here as the week has been progressing. We've been having a great time on Rumble, and we've really, really enjoyed the crowd and the feedback we're getting over there, especially from Dr. Fire Chicken.
Yeah, Dr. Fire Chicken, what's up?
Rumble viewer over there. And And of course, everyone that's been watching on X, not growing as fast as we would hope.
Yeah.
But on X, everyone has short attention spans, and this is a long show. So if you're joining us on X, click through to the broadcast screen. Got to actually click the tweet. There's a comment section, and we'll monitor those comments here today. Thank you for joining us, Jesus. Let's see what. Jesus,
Oh my
otherwise
goodness,
known as
Jesus.
God Almighty. He said, "You're going to get disciplined, Tom. Don't be messing up the hand signs."
That's exactly like this.
The problem is you mess it up in the street, you might get beat down, or you get some lead in some parts of your body. In the trading pits, you blow the signs, and you're bankrupt, and you're out on the street, and all your money's gone. Which is arguably much worse than getting some lead poisoning. Alpha Wolf, welcome to the show. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. 10-4. Truck drivers will say 4-2. It's like just going 10-4, and it's acknowledgement. Hearing what I said. 4-2. Yeah, I just like 10-4 better on that one. Let's see. Alpha Wolf. Hey, guys, shared the space. I'm working today, so listening in. Have a great day. We'll try to be more
Alpha
descriptive for you. Alpha Wolf helping us behind the scenes. Helping us get into Pedro. Our show wallet is now a holder of robotic token, RET.
Robotic evolution token. Shout out to you guys. Yep. They are kicking. And by the way, Tom, you have been sporting the flannel like nobody's business, bro.
Did I say no? This is actually not flannel, it's just a plaid shirt.
Oh, sorry. Or the plaid, bro. Looking good. You look good in it, man.
I got an admission. I have a small admission. Mrs. Striking is a lot taller than me.
Okay.
And I have a shelf in my closet here where I put all the winter stuff up there. And it was up there until I finally got Mrs. Striking to say, "Could you grab those plaid shirts for me?" Flannel shirts. So she pulled them all down. So now I got them all out, and I tend to wear them all winter. Usually I don't wear them on the air, but last night was different, and I was actually cold, and I didn't take it off. So I was like, time for the plaid. But the plaid, generally in television, they say plaid doesn't work because a lot of TVs or backgrounds, it creates a pattern. Your screen isn't the right resolution. You get that Moore effect. Anyway, nice button up. But I am sporting my Chicago Ride T-shirt, which some people say, well, why do you have a goat on your shirt? It's actually an old Triumph motorcycle with the handlebars down.
Oh, I see it, definitely.
And Ride Chicago is the local group here that teaches everyone.
If you're out there in Chicago,
the industry.
Listen, if you guys are out in the Chicago area,
Cholo. Yeah. He just buttons his top button up like this. Hey.
All you need is some bindikis, a white T-shirt with some bandana, nice little glasses. Cholo rao. All
right, everybody, let's do that thing where you like and you share it. Alpha Wolf is leading the charge with sharing it out to his posse. Thanks for that, and it shows.
Yes.
The viewers tend to go up when he does that. Thanks for joining us on whatever platform you're on right now.
Absolutely.
But Pedro, we've rambled on here.
We have. Let's check out BTC.
Let's check out Bitcoin, what's going on.
Absolutely.
And I've got to check out a Caspa trade that I am in.
Ooh, there you go. All right, guys. We talked about this trade hitting this area here, coming down and seeing it bounce off. So we saw it. Nice little bounce here. Like I said, this is a smaller trade. This is not a hold it until you. This is a day trade. We're coming down into our area here, and we've seen it push up. I said once you guys have about a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio, you want to take out. So I like the 1-to-1 ratio first, which should hit right here. And then now we'll wait until, and I always say to you guys, take out 60 to 70% on this day trade. I love that too. That's like the most epic thing, bro.
I forgot to take the couch view off from last night. Last night I did the show from the couch, and I put El no worko.
El no worko. We should be getting back up here. Like I said, every time we do a pullback in the evening, you see it drop. And I talk about this ad nauseum with every one of you guys here, and you guys know it. But it's really important to understand that as this market is moving, okay, it's real important to understand that when we sell off, because we're in a bull market, and I think we're in a bull market of all bull markets. This is like 1990, right? or mid 80s to the late 2000s. Okay, I won't say late 2000s. That's the wrong word. Early 2000s, before the dot-com bubble. But when you saw the market just rallying, and every time you would see it pull back, it would get eaten up. This is that rally. You're just right about 1982, okay, 1983. Reagan's getting in the office, right? He's talking about complete getting rid of red tape and just letting things run. That is where you're sitting in. And we are about to have the rally of all rallies you've never seen before in crypto. And so I want to bring this home to you. When we see a pullback, right? And we can see pullbacks of up to, in crypto, like a 90% retracement. We're like, it's like eating your normal, morning Sunday cereal, right? But, even though it hurts, it's just like, ooh, it's like your brother coming up, slugging you. And you're like, bro, why'd you throw the weight into it, dude? He's like, you farted too late last night. You're like, and look, you do it too. Anyways, the reason why I'm going into this just randomness is that this idea that we're sitting in a real bull run, a bull run that is going to be, when we look back in 20, 30 years, it is going to be crazy. And you're going to think, dang it, why didn't I just buy right then as we were moving? This is going to be one of those moments that, so when you have pullbacks, just go in and throw bags in, small amounts of bags, just boom, putting it in. And again, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but this is what I'm doing. And this is what we've been doing here on this show of saying, all right, guys, we're pulling back to here, buy here, because there are buyers sitting here, right? There are institutional orders sitting right here. It's way up here, but as it comes back down to this area, be ready to buy it. And so this is where I'm helping you guys out, pulling things through. This is not financial advice, but this is social education purposes only. But if you go back and you look at our videos, we've been pretty spot on.
Welcome Space Cat to the show.
Space Cat, what's up, brother? Space.
Jeff Ledger in the house.
What up, Ledger? What up, brother?
Technical difficulties. Good morning, afternoon, guys. Jumped in just in time to see Tom having camera issues.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Technical difficulties. I love it. I love it.
It's what happens when you bootstrap yourself up. You save every dollar you have to get a decent computer, and that was 4 years ago when I first started this in the 2020 year. And I got the latest NVIDIA card on my computer. I was like, yeah, it rocks. And then 6 weeks later, you're like, man, it already sucks. Now I'm at 4 years, and so I have technical difficulties, and now it's a thing. But anyway, once we get our new technology sponsor online and they get us, new 1,086 machines or whatever. Problem is, I need to get that technology sponsor first. Kova Crypto, you're gonna make me sing again, aren't you?
What's up, Kova?
When you get a pullback, add another horse to the race, increase your chance of winning big. Yes, yesterday I serenaded Kova's wife.
It was epic. It was absolute. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Kova. I'm gonna have to go to Tom. He's so romantical, so romantic."
No, wait. I was serenading her husband. Actually, I was serenading Mr. Kova, not Mrs. Kova.
I know. I was
trying to woo him away.
He's like, "Come on over. How you doing over there? You and that big old bag of crypto over there."
Roland Rod says it's Pokemano time. I think it's Mano, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Not I think Pokemono.
Pokemono.
It's a different one than Pokemano.
Manio.
We got to get that correct.
Hermanio.
We don't want to send someone off to a rug pull or something like that.
I know, right? And make sure you send us the correct stuff. We'll go over that. So make sure you send us the correct contract so we can hit the right ones up, and make sure we show your project that you're looking. Well, not show it, but just talk about your project, going over the stuff. So what you laughing out over there, Chuckles?
She literally said, "What the F?"
She literally said, "What?" I just saw it. That's so awesome. I love it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro, let's get back to this Bitcoin and take a look at Caspa. We've been faded Caspa for one, and I do that simply because I'm in a Caspa trade, and so I wanted Pedro to
Check it out here. Okay, so
validate my feelings.
all right. Hey, I'm good at validating. It's all good. You're good. All right. So check this out. We pulled down. We opened up here yesterday, and we talked about on the show. We started seeing it get down. We started seeing a sell off a little. And I said, all right, guys, this is the area that I'm looking to see it pull back into, and then see how far it's going to rally. I said, you want to take your. I didn't actually go this. I should have went over this part. Take your initials out, right, at that 60% mark. 60% of your trade out, so you're immediately going to be in profit. And then what you do is you raise up, and many of our viewers know this already. I've already taught many of them how to kind of trade something that I talk about, right? Come up, hits our area, then we put our stop right in this, right underneath here, right? And then now we want to get a 1-to-1 ratio from here to there, and then we bring our stop up to right here. And so this would be the low of the day if we continue up. Remember, in a bull market, we don't fade something that's going up. Remember, like during a bear market, I was always looking to short, right? I'm looking to short. I'm not looking to go long, because in a market that is going down, or every time you see it going down, I'm looking to capture that drop, right? In a bear market versus a bull market, I'm looking to capture the initial push up, the harder push up versus a smaller push down in a bull market. So in the same sense, you can see here that I think we went on right here is where we were going when we came on. No, right here. This is where it was. So we came in on around here. The market went down here. I expected it to come down here. Came up a little bit, but then during the actual morning session, we saw it sell off, come in, tap our area of buyers, and now we're seeing a push back up where we're creating high, higher low, and then a higher low. Yeah, higher low. We have a high here, a higher low. We should see this one extend to that 90,241-ish area, come back down and push back up. We should see it continue at least up to this top mark of that 91,000 area for Bitcoin. All right, let's check out Caspa. Caspa. Give me 1 second. It starts with the K. We got Caspa, right? KAS. Ooh, that you're short this?
No, I'm long.
Oh, good.
Well, I was long. I actually moved my stop up, and it just tagged it just now. So
all right. So where did you get in long at?
13.
13 what? We just lost Tom.
13.8.
13.8. Here we go. 13.8. Okay. So the pullback into the 8 is where you are. The pullback into the 8 period moving average is when you got into it. Smart. Boom. Moved up. Good trade. Nice trade. I like it. Had support there. You could have let it let it retrace, which is okay. I would be looking maybe for it to fall back to this 1300 here. We're already seeing some buyers starting to kind of step in right here. So you want to wait in this level here to see it come into this level here. So, and see volume step in. So let's pull up the 30-minute here. Hour, 2 hour, 4 hour is going to be right here. So this is, yeah. So we're hitting already the 8 hour here. We should be pulling back, we're taking profit. So pushed up to come down. It potentially could come back down here to a lower level before we see it continue up for this. So you can see here we're hitting that 100-day period moving average and 89 and 200 all in this level right here, Tom. So you're kind of going against the moving average here. So when you look at your daily chart, you always want to make sure that you're looking at the daily chart so that you understand what the meta narrative is happening as the day moves. Okay,
Right.
if the day is moving up, all right, we're seeing it, but it's coming up so it can pick up orders to come back down to go back up. That's what you want to see. Is it a 2 transition market day, or is it a 3 transition market day? Meaning that, is it going up to go down to go back up, or is it going down to go back up? right? And so that's where you need to make sure that if you look at the daily charts, you'll be able to sit there and see, oh shoot, it's going to find resistance up here. So if it's pushing up first into the evening, we would expect it to then sell off into the late evening to then go back up, right? And so that's kind of like what we're seeing today. It went up to come down, and it should blow through this, and it should. But that's kind of
What
where
do you
you're
mean
seeing your
blow
resistance.
through this? What, on the downside or on the
Oh
upside?
no, on the upside, we should see this thing go through this level here of the 8, or excuse me, not the 8, but the 89, the 100, and the 200 period. But you're going to find some, it's going to have some resistance here because you have the daily SMA sitting right here, kind of playing against it. So that's why when I say if it comes back down into your area origin that you were looking at, that this is just an area that you need to be looking at to see, all right, if it comes down and I want to see volume step in, that's really what you want to see. So that's in a nutshell. In a
All right, thank you.
nutshell. You're welcome. You're welcome. And if any of you guys have any things that you're looking at as well, please let us know. That's what we're here for. I like going over the stuff, helping you guys out.
Alpha Wolf is talking about his robotic. I keep wanting to say robotic excursion tour.
Evolution.
Token.
Yeah, let's hit it up here real quick. Good old evolution. Also, dude, I don't know if you got into the tits project, but dude, with Crypto Queen, she's running that project with tits. Dude, I think
No.
they have. What's up?
I did not get involved in that.
Dude, I think that could be a sender. Granted, we're all degens here. If any of you guys don't know, like a lot of the new guys over on Rumble, they're, we're talking crypto, and there's a part of crypto that is very much just your degenerate gamblers. That's why they call them degens, right? And so
yes, exactly.
that's why the term degen came about, because degenerate. And these guys are just willing to ape in. Ape in, if you don't know what it means, is when you go all in into a product and you throw everything into it, hoping that it's going to go to the moon. The moon means that it goes up. I just realized I'm using all these crypto terms, and we got a big crowd over there, and got to make sure that I explain things to them so they actually understand a little bit. And you may already understand what I'm saying, but I want to make things a little easier for you guys in case you don't. All right. So, anyways, this idea, I was looking at them, dude, and I was like sitting there going, like, you know what, dude, this could send, because just the name alone, you have a bunch of degenerate males. 80%, or what is it? 98% of crypto are males, and the majority of them are guys that are just, dude, they're just dudes. Gambling dudes.
They got paid on Friday. They broke on Monday.
That's the truth, dude. Like, I literally had a friend of mine, literally go through, got paid, he paid rent, and now he's starving. You know why? He put it all in Solana. He just said, forget food, dude. I was like, oh, that sucks. And I felt bad, but I was like, dude, that is just dumb. He goes, I'm a degen. I was like, there you go, man. True to the form. So it's just
Carmen Crypto in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Carmen?
So many degen dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. That is real.
I saw one meme that said, 2017, 2021, and it showed a bunch of super hot cars with Bitcoin and crypto related license plates.
Yeah.
And then it showed 2023, the same license plates on 1994 Hondas, because they blew all their money and they had to downgrade from their slick BMW, or their McLaren or whatever. And just in a lot of states, you keep your license plate, just move it to your new car. You don't have to pay a big fee for that.
Dude, it's sad, dude. It's like I saw the same thing here in Connecticut. It was actually pretty funny, really funny. Ticker tits on XRP. Paid XRP or paid XPO lost it when Crypto Queen got it. Right? I started laughing, dude. Like, I was like, what we're referring to is the Breakfast Club. And it was great. It was great. What's up, Kova? It's good to see you, brother. As always, supporting. Really appreciate you, brother. So quick question. Do we have RTX or RET, excuse me. No, I don't know why I said RTE. Let's see if here we can pull it up here. Oh, I forgot I saved it.
Carmen says, Tom has witnessed me try to be so professional and keep my together amongst the degens. I earned a lot of white hair that year. I did. Carmen was doing a bit every day, twice a day for a while. And,
Yeah.
and she was trying to be professional. I was like, man, how do you do that? It wasn't on the show with me. It was on a different show. And
I
or a
freaking
different
love
project, I should say. Trying to educate people that they were not there for educating. Those people just wanted to see X's. Like every degen. Like every
I was gonna say, isn't that not like the normal though? I mean, like when you get to the point where you're saying, "Dang it, we only got a 10x on this," right? Like I mean, in the bear market, we're hoping for a 10x. When
Oh, I
it's
know
the
who XRP Queen is. I know. I've followed her for a while.
yeah. Well, she's got
I
a
shaded. I didn't shade her. I threw her shade on XRP once a while ago, and she nearly lost it. And I'm like, dude, they're selling it out. The company's just selling the money to fund operations. And no, it's going to the moon. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not going to the moon. I
not.
said not until they stop spending money.
Well,
I
it's
said
looking like
go
they
over.
are.
We could talk about XRP later at length, but I told her, I said, go to the XRP job site and see how many people they're hiring at $300,000 a year for software engineers and project managers. I said each one of those $300,000 a year jobs is a sell on your chart. I was right for a long time. Maybe that's easing up. I don't know. What you got there?
So this is RET. RET, which is robotic evolution token. It is the whole entire thing is literally communicated on X, or it is communicated on X. They communicate with each other, and then from there, they started this coin like Godius Maximus, and now it's starting to take off. And it's honestly trading beautifully. Since we've last looked at it, which was about right here, we talked about it's starting to show strength and it looks really good. Looks really, really good. And I think it was at a 2 million market cap. And I said, I like it. I like the structure of the inter time frame change. I like seeing how it's coming back down, picking up or creating sellers so that they can buy up those sellers where there's a defense against the sellers is what I call it. And so when it sells off and we see it push back up, that means that there's real buyers in there. And so they're being smart. Instead of letting this thing go to the moon, it's playing smart. Now, granted, this is inter time frame, so it's picking up people as it's pulling back, right, for buyers, because you don't want top buyers. You don't want top offs because those people get trapped. Okay, so you want to be able to pick these guys up, and then you do get top offs because as what happens is people start to make money, and then and they tell their friends, and people top in, but it then pulls back. Those people are down, and then they get the emotional increase and the dopamine hit as it pushes past where they bought in at. And so, as long as you have a short time span with that, you then see people come in more into a project. And so, and they're doing the same thing. You can see right here, they topped it up. They're going to bring it back down. And honestly, I kind of like this lower area right here, right? When I'm looking at this, simply because, you know me, I'm a cheap man. I don't like spending money. It's the honest to God truth.
Now we know the rest of the story.
It is just the truth. I don't like spending money. I'm one of those guys that, hey, you know what? I made my money the hard way. I'm a foster kid. I had to climb up through those trenches, and you know, and I don't even have a lot, but I'm consistent about making it. So that's my thing. If your biggest thing is if you can be consistent about making your money and saving, you too can do very well in life, right? I'm 45, and I just see it as, look, made some big mistakes, learned them, but I think crypto is going to be one of those ones that it's going to make a lot of people free. I think it's going to help out a lot of people in third world countries, and as well as here in this country, with people who've kind of been down and out. You know, mom and pops, grandma, grandpa. Once they get in and start to see it, it's going to be really interesting, and they'll be able to have a instead of $1 that gets decreased in their value of their income gets decreased, right? Speaking of grandmas, because they're on Social Security, right?
Right.
This here is going to be one of those things that they can put a little money in and be able to at least have a stored value of income, so they can go into the store and say, look, I got Bitcoin, boom, and they can be able to buy the goods and services that they need. So it's really interesting. So I like this. I like the form of this when it comes to this chart. The only thing is I don't like is, man, again, we're seeing it pop. So it literally doubled or tripled overnight. It went from 1.24 to 4.56 million market cap. So it's one of those ones that, be mindful of this, guys. It's one of those things that we could definitely see a pullback, but it's pumping. So as long as it's staying above that 8-period moving average on the daily, and we see how they're actually trading the market here, which is very similar. If you go and you look at Godius Maximus, it's very similar to how it trades. Very similar. So it's really smart to see how they're seeing it or how they're trading it. And I like it. I really like it a lot to see what they're doing, how they're pulling back and trading it. So on an inner time frame, I do like, this is the other part I was going to go. I'm glad I came here. I like this area right here on the 4-hour chart. Let's go ahead. We're going to use this here. And this area right here is that 4-hour inter time frame change. Boom. I'm going to do this right here. Do that. So just so you guys know, these have so anything below an hour, okay, I have it as these dots. Anything above an hour, I have it set up this way, so I know that this is an inter time frame change. I do this on my other charts.
Explain that again to me, the dotted line versus the solid line.
Yeah, so solid line are anything above a day. Anything between a daily chart, between an 8-hour chart and a 1-hour chart, I set up as a quick reference for myself like this. And then in between, so this is a 4-hour. Actually, this needs to go to right here. So let me change this up. And I set it up. And so what I do is, with this type of thing, 1 hour is 1 hour, 2 hours, 2, 4-hour is 3, and 8-hour is 4. All it is just a quick remind me of what it is, right? This is it's an inter-day time frame, and the zone is a 4-hour zone. Instead of me having to sit there and put down 4-hour zone right here or 2-hour zone, type it in, I can sit there and put it in. So it's a quick reference for myself as a trader.
Kova asks, what's the story on RET? I don't know if you missed what Pedro was talking about, but it's an AI token that does a lot of the work itself.
Yeah.
Especially in the Twitter feed and all that.
Yeah,
AI Wolf says the dev behind it programs it and lets it do its thing, something to that effect.
Absolutely.
Expert on these things, but he says it's going to be a 10 million market cap today. Now that is a prediction that it's going to 3x today, and that it's 100 million tokens, so it's going to 30x from here. That would be great. That would be great, especially since as fair disclosure, Pedro and I own it in our show wallet here. See if we can pump up the bags here and beat our earnings in our trading from our earnings on Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. You should be watching on Rumble.
Definitely.
Actually, watch on YouTube. If you're a YouTube person, that's great too. And we're just trying to get the Rumble algorithm to pop it in front of more eyeballs over there. God Almighty keeps talking about when, and I keep forgetting what contract that is. I think you've gone over it before.
Let's see here real quick. I gotta go through the comments. Dude, I'm trying to get, forgive me guys, I'm trying to actually get in for whatever reason. Can you there, bud?
I'm here.
And
But just look, I had to move my Caspa chart off to my laptop here. And of course, they came down and stopped me out. And so I only made $20. And now it's just continuing its run right up. Just looking at it going. It's almost like the exchange said, all right, we'll just run it down. We'll run the whole market down just to get Tom's $20.
No, did it stop at your area?
It went right to my area, tagged my order, and then went right back up. Oh, and there goes Pedro, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back shortly here.
So yeah, so typically when that happens, it's what's happening is the market is sitting there. That means you actually have a good, decent area where you think the market should be. So assume, since you kind of you're picking areas that are where you're getting stopped out at. So what you want to do is wait for the price to come down further. Like when you think you would say, this is where I want to get in, think, I want price to come down a little bit further, which it typically does for you. And then from there, go long or go in the direction that you're looking to go. So.
Yep. Jeff Ledger would love to know what you think of Doge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just so you know, your camera's off. Pedro.
I know. I'm actually trying, for whatever reason.
It's all right. I can flip your avatar back on here if needed.
Yeah. Really? Like, you would think. Okay, I don't know why it tells me that I have to verify everything. It's just like slowly just.
Oh, because you're getting text messages on your phone. That's why. I get you.
Yeah, and so I've got to verify something so I can get into these things here. And yeah, there we go. Very fun. I love this platform, but sometimes it can be a pain. There we go. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to do that. I just had to kind of.
Says, can I apologize? That was a typo. I got in at $400,000 market cap.
Oh wow, dude! Talk about a great area.
I forget, what does the term CTO mean?
Community takeover.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah, so here we go.
Oh, I thought you meant Dogecoin itself. I was like, Alpha Wolf says, let's look at Solana. We'll look at that in a few minutes here. Are you guys watching the Mike Tyson fight? Oh, how prescient of you to talk about that. We were just discussing that we believe that Mike Tyson, even at his age, is still going to beat.
Dude, he's gonna have fun with Jake. I think it's gonna be a massacre. And the worst part behind it is that he's not, like, I don't think Tyson's joking around. I mean, like, I think he's I think it's serious. Like, I think it's serious with Tyson.
I think anytime he gets in that ring, it's serious. Or anytime he thinks he needs to punch someone in the face, it's serious. Like on that airplane.
Yeah.
When he punched the guy in the face, they interviewed someone else that's on the plane, and they said, you can't believe how fast his fist just came up and popped that guy in the face. And I'm like, that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's what made him so dynamic, is he was so quick. Like it's just bam, and you're like, you're bleeding. You're like, what just happened? Like that's what made people. That's why he would knock people out of the ring. That's why people would just get knocked out, because he was so quick. And he's still, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the training fights going on between these dudes, or the training videos, but you see Jake Paul and then you see Tyson, dude, night and day difference. The speed that you see him throwing blows versus Jake, Dude, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Me and a bunch of boys are gonna be here watching on my. I have a big old screen, so it's gonna be. It's gonna be
When
fun.
actually is the fight? Is it
Tomorrow
tonight?
night. No, it's
Oh,
tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night.
Yeah, it's Friday night. Friday night.
Kova
So
says, I wouldn't want to get punched by him. F no, he isn't playing around. Jake has never been punched like that. Well, it's
yeah,
Tyson's famous line, that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
I love it. Like
Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face.
and he's quick with it. Like, you know what? Like I had a friend of mine who kind of met him, and he said when you meet him, he's a nice guy, but like he's dynamic as a person. So kind of emotionally, he can go from like very serious to joking around to serious again. And so, and I wouldn't call it like he's bipolar. It's just that it's kind of part of his personality, right? And I think his brain thinks really quick, and so he's able to really go from, oh, what about this, what about that, and then follow that train of thought quickly, whereas it looks like maybe he's sporadic, but he comes with really interesting thought, like a lot of his stuff that he talks about. If you watch any of his videos, or he has his podcast, or vlogcast is what they call it when they with the video thing. But either or, it's one of those things to watch him like really process things. And so just as quick as his brain, his body's still just as quick, man. I'm not to see. I almost want to sit there and be like I almost want to bet on Jake Paul just in case, because everybody's already betting for Tyson. He's just demolished it. Like it's like a 1 in 10,000. I wonder what um the polls say, and crypto polls say, about who's going to win the Jake Paul fight. If it's going to be Tyson or what's up?
Let's go to Polymarket.
Polymarket, baby. Let's go. Would love to know what you think about Doge, CTO at 340. All right, let's check out Doge CTO. DOGE.
It's the Department of Government Efficiency token.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my word!
What's up?
Polymarket. Polymarket is not going along with our collective groupthink here.
Really? They think they think that Jake Paul is going to demolish him.
Yeah, the betting right now is 60%. There it is. 62% for Jake Paul, 30 for Tyson, and why is there another one? Draw not scored 10%. The amount bet on Jake Paul is 2.3 million. Amount bet on Mike Tyson, 3.4 million. No idea how this works. I don't know. I thought if you bet more on one, they would be in the lead, but no idea how this works.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting, very interesting, and it's been like that, fairly consistent. They've been predicting this since April. Is that how long this fight has been announced?
Yep. They've literally dragged it out forever in a day, dude. It has been painful. It was supposed to go earlier, but they waited. It was kind of called back, and then it was put back on. So it was really interesting. Quick question. Can you guys send us the Doge CTO contract real quick? There's a lot of stuff here with Doge. I think it's this one, Department of Government, but I just want to make sure that we have it correctly. So let us know. And I have it down here. The first four is 0x Charlie 98, and the last four is capital Bravo 037.
One of these guys will bring it up for us. Yeah. What else we got here? Derek B in the house. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Derek?
Ka-ching, all the way from. I forget where Derek lives.
Ka-ching. I think, was it Florida? That was Florida.
No, I don't know. Minnesota?
Minnesota?
I don't know why this one. I should.
I see it, Jeff. I got you. All right.
Gino should have to watch Party on X Space. Yeah, I do get Netflix. Still paying for it because the kids, if I were to turn it off, have a heart attack. So I'll keep it going. Although I don't seem to watch as much as I used to. Although I just ripped through The Diplomat. That was Diplomat season. So I was right about Minnesota. We have a Viking up there.
Oh, go Raiders. Sorry. We just lost like 50 subscribers there.
Rumble went, pew. Where are all you Rumblers at anyway?
Yeah, it's good to see. Well, it's interesting to see what's actually happening here.
I'm gonna do my Rumble tweet here.
Thank you. Now let's check this out. The fact that we do have 4 or 5 people there is actually pretty cool. So appreciate that to all you Rumblers out there that are watching us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate one of you. If you guys could hit that like button, all 3 or 4 of you guys would help us out tremendously, simply because we're a small show and we're trying to grow over here. And so they would help us out immensely. So thank you, Trumbull, or not Trumbull. Why do I keep saying Trumbull? Rumble viewers, you guys are amazing. Also, Trump. What I think is so funny is that watching this, I wonder what Trump is going to say or tweet about this fight. Because he is very much into the social meme stuff. He's very much into like trolling and checking things out. So I wonder if he's going to say, why is there a young man beating up on an old man? You know what I'm saying? Now, I would never call Mike Tyson an old man to his face. But the man is, I think he's at 60s, right? Tyson's 60 or close to that. Let me check that out here real quick.
Probably at least 60. Yeah, I'd watched him when I was 18. So
58.
58. He's only 2 years older than me.
Yeah, dude, he is I'm just saying, he may be basically 60, but I'm not gonna get to his face. And it's gonna be really interesting to see if Trump actually gets involved in this. Oh, by the way, we need to shout out 3 things: Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, as well as Taylor Swift, Shiba Inu, and the Swifties, and Mr. Beast, aka Bitcoin. Shout out.
You know, we don't need to talk about or to mention. Don't need to mention MSNBC.
Whoa.
Because they just lost half their viewership.
Which is
crazy. That article about their numbers?
No, I didn't. What's up?
There's an article talking about how because the key figures, and I can't remember the guy, Morning Joe and his wife, they were so adamant about Miss Harris winning, so biased, and they claim not to be. At least the Fox News people claim that they're like, yeah, we support Trump. That in the garbage they spewed, it turned off even their loyal viewers, and
really?
their ratings went down by half after the election.
Wow.
For a cable show that, frankly, they don't get as many views. You know, I mean, we're approaching their views here.
Wow. You said CNBC?
MSNBC.
Oh, MSNBC. Wow, that's impressive. Because I do like their financial stuff. I mean, it ain't perfect, but you know, they are always spitting out stuff to get you abreast of what's potentially moving. So it's really interesting to see. You know, that'd be the smartest thing for them to do, and I'm not joking, is to go full ape into crypto. If they just started covering crypto and all the advancements that are actually happening, they would boost straight up because of what's going on, and stick to that, not crazy politics, not race-based ideologies or transgender thought processes, which is a contentious system within the U.S. right now. This is one of the primary reasons why you saw a lot of Democrats. And if you guys want to know what I mean, is if you go and you literally look at X and many other platforms, a lot of the Democrat people who lost races asked their votees, hey, why didn't you revote for me? And many of them said, you guys literally were pushing this stuff on us we didn't agree with fully. And so we actually had to switch to we had to vote more red than blue. I had a friend of mine that I always talk about this often. He ran and knocked doors for Hillary Clinton, for Barack Obama. And like legit, like he was 100 supporter. And then from there, seeing this whole entire push of this, that going after the children, is really his biggest thing was like, my little niece came, he said, my little niece came and said, I'm a boy. I want to be a boy. And I was like, okay. And she's like, she was pushing her dad to do it. And I felt bad because the dad was like, no, you're still too young. You were, 3 weeks ago, you wanted to be a cat. Like you were walking around like you're a cat. And then she, and then a week after that, she was a dog. And it was just kind of crazy that term, was, and it was kind of crazy. Now this was like almost 2 years ago plus, but it was one of those moments that he the school called him up and said, hey, we know that she was saying she wants to be a boy, we think we should. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, no. She, and he brought up the idea of her she wanted to be a dog, she wanted to be a cat. So are we gonna put things on her to help her grow hair? And I just thought it was interesting. So many of the views
flew it to the forehead, like some of those hair replacement things.
Yeah. And so this is the part that many of the Democrats actually are, hopefully they're waking up and realizing, look, if you go back central and bring some common sense in that alt left wokeism thought process, is not where America is sitting at. We don't want to be like Europe. We're Americans. Okay. Many of the European people don't want to be there. I was just talking to a major news outlet in crypto, gentlemen. And many of you guys know I have a lot of connections in the news stuff. And I was talking with him, and he has about 180,000 viewers just on his Telegram. And he was saying he doesn't want to be in Europe because of the crazy that is actually happening. He goes, I want to move to the States. And he reached out to me, we were talking about, I wouldn't say we reached out to me, but we were talking back and forth. And he was just simply saying, dude, like if I was going to move, I'd move to Texas, because at least up where like New York and stuff, it's kind of crazy up there as well. And I started laughing. I mean, that's what I assumed that he was really meaning when he said, I want to move to Texas. And I just started cracking up because I was just like, dude, we're going to get a lot of those guys, especially that crypto is now going to be really pushed strong here. And the idea of just the hustle, to make your money and hustle, right? And to see your family prosper and succeed is what the American dream is. And we're going to see that. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
And God Almighty pointed out, he said, I only made 2 genders. Sorry. Right here on our show, pointed out.
If any of you guys over on Rumble over there, we have a guy, absolutely love him. He's one of our guys. And so he changed his name to Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, God Almighty. What was it? A Sucker Free Club? And he's
Sucker Free City.
Yeah, Sucker Free City, and which is epic. And then we also
Carmen, you're epic commenting today.
Dude.
My brother's 2 years younger than me. When I saw mom changing his diaper for the first time, I told my mom, I can get one of those at Walmart. I was 2 years old.
Oh,
you can't get it at Walmart, but you can get it at the other store around the corner.
And they'll put it into a black bag.
Shark, thanks for joining us again. It's been a while since we've seen you in the comments. Really appreciate
it.
Alpha Wolf once again saying, yes, Roland Rit to 10 mil is very easily incoming. Ooh, Alpha.
Yeah. We need to check that out. I like that. We'll definitely check it out. We'll check out REIT. We actually just went over REIT. I like how it's looking. It's already at 4.5 mil or 5 mil, I think is where it's at. So looking nice. It's looking really nice. I like how it's trading. So yeah, shout out the intra time frame change of the trading. Looks really good. Now let's check out Doge here.
Wait,
go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, do you have the Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency token?
Yep,
All right, do that one first.
Okay.
Then
All right. So check this out.
Tom Oliver, good evening, Tom Oliver. It is afternoon for us.
Oh, it's almost Oliver. It's good to see you, brother.
I forget where Mr. Oliver.
Also, while you're doing that, guys, I want to shout out the guys over at Rumble. Please hit that like button. Again, we're trying to grow our stuff over there on Rumble. By you hitting that little thumbs up, it does help us out a lot. implore you to go ahead and log in, create a profile so you can actually hit the thumbs up. That does help us out quite a bit. We are a small show. We're just trying to grow and put our footprint deeper or further or expand it more over in Rumble. So that was kind of weird. Go ahead, take over. I apologize.
No, you're doing the Department of
Rumble.
Government Efficiency.
Yep. All right. So check this out. I think it was really interesting here. This idea that this thing, right? Look at it ripped. Look at this market cap, dude. Like, dude, of course. Why wouldn't it? Like, that's the thing. Why wouldn't this? Like, it literally hit 300. The peak was 500 mil. This thing started off on, I think it Pump Fund? Did it start off at Pump Fund?
I don't know.
3,000. Yeah. So the open was 3,600. So it looks like it started about Pump Fund. And look, it went from 3,000 or 3,600 all the way up to 500 million in literally about 3 months. August, September, October, November. There we go. 4 months. Excuse me, not 3 months, 4 months. And this thing is gangbusters. There are millionaires in this right now. I mean, absolute millionaires. And look at the daily volume. Holy moly, bro. It's 47 million. That is nuts. That is astronomically crazy. Liquidity, I don't like that. It's at 7.2. But if you have that amount of daily volume coming into it, you can get in and out of that trade. There's a lot of buyers and sellers coming in and out. So that's a good sign. If you're in this and you've got good money in, please take profit here. We could see this thing completely come all the way back down to 131 mil. Area. This looks like an area could potentially go. And also, if you look at, let's go ahead and pull up that.
Jeff says he saw it when it originally rugged, and he could have bought it under 100K market cap. Ooh. Ooh. Ow. Ooh.
Is that 400, or that's a 400X? 300X?
A lot of X.
Yeah, it's an X.
A lot of X.
Oh, wow, Jeff. Bro, still. Wherever you got in, you obviously probably made money here. So I'm assuming you probably got in about 100 mil, is what I'm assuming, or potentially 44 mil, 50 mil. So let's pull this up here real quick. Let's check out this weekly chart. So here we go. So you've got a big God candle here.
Hey, Alpha Wolf, when you get this, you're probably behind in the show a little bit, I bet, because you're commenting on when I was talking about 10 million and 100 million. That was a good half hour ago.
Ooh,
drop him a message.
Somebody. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 1 second. Here we go. That's going to go there. And that's going to be a week. Delete. Alrighty then. So this right here. So it all depends. Are they going to drop it from here? That 50, I mean, that's 500 million is real, right? That's real money. So obviously somebody was definitely taking profits with that type of cash. Why wouldn't you? Like, you're just stupid if you don't. That's a real income there. That's life-changing income right there. So you can see right here, it's coming down. Where is it going to most likely come down to? We got a few places here. One is this area, this monthly zone that I have marked right here, which would be that 39 million. The other one is potentially come back down to the base of the previous or the current candle, and then see it consolidate. And that is going to be that area right here. And then that's sitting at about the 176 mil area to 142 mil area. And then market cap. And then when you look at the daily, I would say that 176 mil is a good area for it to pull back. I do like that as I'm looking at it, just simply because you have that moving average sitting right here. We can see that it's finding support, so I could see it come through. pick up orders, and then wick up. So I would be more advent to get in at that 176, 142 area. Mill area as market cap for me. And let's check out to see if my zones are there as well. 140. Boom. So we're sitting at 32 mil and it's 320 mil. So boom. So 140 would be, yeah, about right here is where I'm looking at. So that'd be that 140 mil right here. That'd be that area right here. And also right here, here we go on that daily chart. We'll play this here. Boom, I like this right here. Boom, let me see how that works right there. Come and play. Comes and plays. Comes and plays. Okay. Right.
Welcome, Rumblers.
What up? Absolutely, you guys.
We are an interactive show. Please sign up and drop a like and some comments here. Pedro's getting the Department of Government Efficiency token all lined up here, as I say, and fully analyzed. That will give you enough time to sign up and hit that like button. We really appreciate all of you viewers. And we always like to know how people found our show.
Absolutely.
So if you could drop a comment, say, I just saw it in the feed somewhere. I'd like to know how you found it in the Rumble system.
Absolutely. And our guys are on
the screen, so I'm the ghost of the voice.
The ghost of the voice. Oh yeah. Doom 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 doom.
And I've got these new views of Pedro now. I've got just him with the chart. And so you're getting a much closer view, more detailed view of Pedro. I know all of you have been looking forward to it, in that. But I also got this view here, which yesterday on the evening show, it's this one.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was actually cooler because you had the whole AI thing in the background where it looked like it was people's faces. I like that version of it better. It was really cool.
I did. I thought it was good too.
Now you guys are getting all of Pedro here.
Whoa. Sorry about that, guys. I had somebody hit me up and said, "You're the smartest guy I know." I go, "I'm sorry. You need to get a wide better friend."
You need to get more friends.
Definitely need to get more friends. Yeah, I never want to be the smartest guy in the room. And if I am, I'm definitely looking to leave. Because if I'm not learning, I ain't growing and I'm not earning. So get in groups where you are the dumb guy. That's a good thing. Always be expanding your brain so you're learning. You never live in an echo chamber ever. Even if you're around people who you cannot stand, never live in an echo chamber because that literally shrinks your brain. It shrinks literally your cognitive ability to be able to process adjacent thought processes or even opposition thought processes. And then what happens is when somebody comes in and gives you new thought processes outside of those, you can't even process it because you just write it off and you lose out on money and you lose out on brain cells. So make sure you don't live in a, and that's no joke. This is science. You go check it out.
Well, that's why the people come here and listen to our show. So they get out of their little box and hear the little remote work cube that they've made for themselves in the corner of their dining room.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we're saying about that.
Sorry. On that note, I saw a funny meme. It was a thing about remote working. The guy said, I really love it. Both my wife and I work from home, and it's fantastic. And it just showed their living room with those standard office cubicles in it. It was so funny. It was like, well, they made the best. Literally, it wasn't an AI thing. They bought the standard office cubicles and put them in their, maybe not their living room, but their extra big room. And then that was their office. They said, we wanted to feel like we were at work. Kova Crypto says he found out about us on CBC. Pedro mentioned he did chart analysis. So I'm learning here for sure. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And
Alphaville says it's a good time for people to ape into a lot of things. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's true. It's absolutely. So I like this pullback area here. This is your first real demand zone after this big push up of Doge. And I expect to see it come back down. You want to see a little bit of consolidation that we saw right here. We want to see a decrease in volume like we saw here. So you see how we're pushing up here. And then you see how we have an increasing amount of volume coming in. And then, so this is the other thing you want to be paying attention to, right? And this is really important, is do you see right here how here's the lowest part of the red, of the green. And you can see even when we had lower prices, like this was a new high, and this is a higher low of volume. And then again, you have equal and then a higher low of volume. Now you can see how there's an increasing amount of volume for buying pressure. Now, and the other part is as we were coming down into this area of demand, these buyers, you can then see that we had a drop off of seller pressure here. And if you look at the volume here, you can see that we saw the seller volume drop down. So you can see that right here. It's visually simple and easy. So you can go through and you can see that. And then the next day, the market just gets ready to send. And you can see here, again, you have an increase of green volume here in comparative to the red volume. So that's showing that buyers are getting ready to push the market up. Now, many of you guys see that I use a lot of the moving averages. Moving averages are really important to me because I want to stay in conjunction with moving averages. The majority of the moving averages I want to see below me. Now, I use my own moving averages. And the reason why I use that is because it is a trend mechanism that communicates to me which way the trend will most likely go. So I want to help you guys understand is whatever trend mechanism that you use, you want confluence on multiple time frames. So never trade just off of one time frame. You become very monolithic and you don't have the ability to see more abstract and the full view of the market. You want to have a meta view and a micro view and see how they all interplay with each other. Okay. And so whatever time frames you use, this is what you want to use with the major trend. The reason why I tell you all that is because I use my moving averages as a trend mechanism. And what it does, it lets me know when we're really starting to trend. So whatever you use as a trending mechanism, use that. Mine is very basic. It's just simple moving averages. And it's the 8, the 20, the 50, and the 89. And so what I use as reversals is I also use the 100, 200, and 400 for myself. Give me indications of short-term pullback, short-term pullback to re-enter into the long-term push up or long-term push down. So that's why I use those moving averages. But everybody uses their own system. Some uses VWAP, some use Bollinger Bands. Whatever you use, just make sure you use it in confluence and have the right meta view and the micro move of the trading, which is very important. So you don't get stuck on just one single time frame, like a 5 minute, and thinking, oh, it's going to go down. But the reality is it's coming down to go back up, which is what it looks like it wants to do. So that's it in a nutshell. Sorry for my Pedro's pontifications. What? Pontifications. Wow, that was really hard for me to say. Dear Lord, sorry guys, you just leave us right now. My vernacular ability has literally gone down the drain, and I feel as if I'm not even ancillary to your guys' help. Anyways, so what are we going over next, Tommy? Where are we at?
I just was pulling up a couple of comments here. I don't know why they're not coming up here. There we go. All my MAGA counterparts just as fired up as I am about Elon Musk and Ramaswamy leading the new Department of Government efficiency charge there. They have an AI pic of them in the office. Let's see. What else? Voltaire's Looking Glass on X. Oh, I can't read that. Imagine, if you will, a Department of Government efficiency armed with the relentless precision of an omniscient intelligence wielding AI as both scourge and salvation. This AI is no ordinary tool, no benign companion of convenience. It's radical, unsparing force, dedicated. That is the token Department of Government efficiency.
Absolutely.
Kovis says, Pedro, you have the passion of a teacher. Love it. He does.
Thank you, man.
He does have the passion. Let me tell you why, Kova. You're rather new to this, but Pedro used to do his own show, and I forget how we met in Friends.
JBee's. It was not Coin Launch. Is it Coin Launch Lounge or was it?
It's the old Ninja Lounge before.
Yeah,
Ninja.
which is DeFi Dojo. If any of you guys don't know about it,
was
DeFi
Ninja
Dojo.
Lounge.
Right. Yeah, it was Ninja Lounge.
DeFi Dojo.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors, their logo is right below me right here. Right
now. Go check them out.
But anyway, I said, well, I'm starting to be a streamer and stuff like that, and I'm going to check Pedro out. And I used to have a guy, I don't know if you've seen Tree City Wes on here. He does a lot of shows on Zen. Wes used to be Pedro. he used to come on the show and do technical analysis for me and do reviews of tokens and that type of stuff. And he said, I want to just talk about Zen on my own channel. Went off and did his own thing. So I saw Pedro, and I'm like doing his own show. His own show was 8 hours a day. And he's just going on and talking and talking. 1 viewer, 2 viewers. I'm like, man, this guy has passion. He would go 8. He was like, oh, my show yesterday. And I look at it was 8 hours. Oh my God. And so one time I went on with him, and I'm like, dude, Pedro, you got to come on my show. And finally, we did
Cinco de Pedro.
We did Cinco de Pedro. 5 minutes of Pedro. We pre-recorded it, put it on our Halloween edition of 2022, and that was that. And then when I started taking this thing seriously, about a year and a half ago, to Pedro, let's do it every day. He said,
yeah.
So, yeah, there's passion. Definitely passion.
And the thing is, the reason why we do it so long is because I really wanted people to see the market at large, like see what's actually happening as we're coming down. This was during the beginning of or towards the middle of the bear market, about 2 years ago. And as we're sitting there, I just noticed people were just getting shaked out and getting messed up. And I started seeing all these other, TA guys, no offense, but they just, maybe because I had much more life experiences in the charts, what's actually happening, understanding, and they use traditional TA patterns like head and shoulders, Bollinger Bands, certain types of Bollinger Bands. Yeah, parts, you name it. And I knew that they didn't work, cup and handle. And some of these do work, but you need to have it correlate where the real buyers are sitting. And people
Colin Rod, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
777, baby. What's up? There we go. Much love to all. But it was one of those things that I always say to everybody, look, the reality is this, is that if you don't know the information, you're going to get screwed over by that information. So I felt like I needed to come and I was slowly growing, and I wasn't at 1 or 2 viewers. I had like 10 or 20. So don't be like that. But still, it was still one of those things that we both, I think, your passion in the fundamental analysis side, looking at news sources, how to see you completed me with that, right? Like I would talk about those things. You complete me. You had me at hello. Anyways, okay. Dude, I'm sorry, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, try the veal.
Try the veal. Elvis just left the building. Peace. No. But in the same sense, it was like you brought that other side, right, of the news section and what to look for, and you really helped me out, kind of refine some of my thoughts, and especially when it came to the idea of BRICS, right, and BRICS, and really what it shows, right. I didn't never really. You've been to many of those countries. You've dealt business with a lot of them. You're like, listen, they are not America. America is much more professional, much more like if you do wrong, there's legal ramifications that can come against you and you will be held accountable. Whereas many of these other BRIC nations,
law enforcement.
Yeah. And so it was one of those interesting things to see that view come in about BRICS and see what's actually happening there. So it's really interesting. Jumping back to why am I forgetting why can't I remember? MSBS, the guys who basically lost half of their viewership.
MSNBC.
Thank you. MSNBC. Why is my brain blanking today? Anyways, so yeah, so you never talked about that. And I want you to almost talk about that because it is one of those things I think is going to be important. I think it's going to be really important.
I think the important part is that if you're going to talk to people all day, every day, like they do on those news channels, you have to make sure that your base is actually your base because they want to be there and not out of convenience. Like some people only know MSNBC as their channel because they just it's what comes on when they turn the TV on because that was the last channel they watched. They sit there and watch it all day. They're not Fox News people because they are generally Democrats, and so they're watching that channel out of convenience. And Morning Joe is an okay show. It talks about the news and all that, but what happened is when you can tell when someone's out of sync with their base. It's because they operate as if they're right 100% of the time. And the base always knows that nobody's ever right 100% of the time. Otherwise, I would have won the Mega Millions last night, and we wouldn't be sitting here today. But when they're out of sequence with their base, that's what MSNBC happened. And you could tell as soon as the viewers were like, wait a minute, all that garbage you've been spewing at us, none of that was true? You're like, I mean, wait, what? All that stuff you said is true, that he's the most horrible person ever, and how could these evil people from these middle states elect this guy? It's not going to happen. And then it does happen, and they're like, wait a minute, I just spent all that time watching this channel and believing all that stuff that you said. And none of it was true. It was very similar. Pedro, I got to say, Miss Harris didn't understand her base.
Absolutely.
At the end of the election, all she was doing was attacking every type of weird thing ever. They were just making up stuff. If Trump were to trip on something, they're like, he's old and feeble, he can't even move. And they're like, no, they built the stairs. Going up one of his platforms, they built one stair at 8 inches and one at 7 inches. And so it was different. So he like stubbed his toe, think.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, he's old and feeble. See, we told you he's too old for that. I mean,
yeah, it was silly stuff.
The man doesn't even wear reading glasses or a hearing aid, and he's almost 80.
Right. The man stays up 72 hours, 50 hours going. I mean, you heard about some of the stuff. And here's the thing that blew me away about Trump. By the way, we've actually just seen a huge shoot up to our viewers over at Rumble. Thanks for your guys' view. Listen, guys, we are an interactive group here, show, and please hit that like button. Please tell us where you're coming from or where you would like to be, and also share us if you don't mind. What you guys got to do is go and log in, create a unfortunate just like with many of these other platforms, you have to create a profile, and then you got to hit that thumbs. And that does help us out so much, immensely, when you guys do that. Simply because as we're growing, we're a small show. As you guys can see, we have 17 viewers right now. And we're just trying to grow. We're trying to build it over here as well. So if you guys can
God
help us
Almighty
out.
says, I don't even have cable. I don't either. I live in 2 places here and in Canada. I live here in Chicago. I also visit my wife in Canada, in case any of you immigration people are listening. Pedro, when you take a drink of water, it always flummoxes me. There's no human in the planet that drinks like Pedro does. And every time I see it, I saw it, and I say that because I saw it in person, and he attacks that bottle it's like it's the last water on the planet, and I got to drink it before someone steals it from me. Anyway,
I grew up.
Trying to say I don't have cable in each place, and it was every time that I negotiated with the cable company or get my bill, it was $100, then it was $150, then it was $200, then it was $300,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, nope, and then I negotiate it back down, get a better rate, and then soon that it was up to $300 again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, and a while ago I just said when I moved into this place here, I just said, literally the cable guy was out there, and I'm like, I don't want no cable. And he's like, I know, you just want internet. And I was like, yep, just internet.
Yep.
And then that was still cable internet, which sucks.
Yep.
Then they saw the guys pulling the wire for the fiber. And I'm like, oh, bring that.
God, yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one right here. And so there's no use for cable. I mean, people are like, if you have cable TV, it means you're over the age of 35 for sure.
Maybe more like 50, dude. 50 or 60.
My sister's cable bill, it's like $40 million. I'm like, man, you gotta get rid of this shit. I mean, I'm like, just call and negotiate. It'll go down by half. And she said, I already did.
Yeah, they got to the point because they were losing so much money that they actually stopped helping people out. Remember, I used to be a door knocker, and I did it for years. Before COVID happened, and successful door knocker. It's what I did. Shout out to all you door knockers out there. Keep grinding. keep pushing. I understand your grind, your pain. But and I remember sitting there and I was watching it go from, cable to now internet and cable, and they didn't care about the phone, but the cable guys would sit there and they would say, listen, you need to push the phone and say it's cheaper. And I was like, that's a lie. It's not cheaper. Well, here's the thing is after the increase, it will be cheaper because, you're bundled. And then it got to the point where people were just like, you know what, just give me internet. I don't care. I stream everything. I get all my news independently. I don't care. And I sat there and I was like, oh, wow. That's actually when I started learning about, whether you like them or not. I think they have good articles regarding certain aspects. One America, I think they bring up they're very, very conservative, but some of the stuff that they talk about is legit. Again, I don't live in an echo chamber. I refuse to.
Right.
So you'll see sometimes I'll bring up I have a bunch of independent news sources. I have far left, I have far right, and I have a lot in between. And I think it's important to know that. Anyways, long story short.
Thing. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I force myself to watch other channels.
So important.
So this is a great story. Mrs. Striking's mom is heavily into Canadian politics, not from participating, but from watching and talking about it. And her whole family is, and they talk politics type of stuff, just like my family does here in the U.S. And I got her to start. I didn't get her. I just said, well, you need to get a different view of that. So she started watching Fox News, which she does get as part of their Canadian cable package. And you could see her mind totally change.
Yeah.
And when you watch Fox News, you have to understand that there are certain people on the channel that do tell it like it is, and certain people that are
far
circus.
Right.
Yeah, they're leading the circus and stuff, and so you have to filter out, and then you get an idea of which hosts are real, which news guys are just trying to get ratings and that type of stuff. And once you do that, it's easy to get. And all of a sudden, everything started making sense to her. Then after a while, she started with the fake news stuff. I'm like, hold it, you're watching Fox News all the time, aren't you? And she's like, well, yeah. I said, go back and watch CNN too, just for an hour a day, just to get the other side of it. And then she's like, she did that. She said, I forced myself to go back and watch CNN. And she goes, first of all, it's horrible.
I think all of mainstream media sucks.
Yeah. Well, I would tend to agree with you on that. She said, but I did get the other side of things watching both shows, and now I can kind of ferret out the information. And as a result, it wasn't that, oh yeah, I'm going to be kind of favoring the more liberal view of it. It was, no, after watching all of the different news channels and a couple of the Canadian ones, I even sent her over to Rumble to watch a couple of the news channels there. She said, no, my ideas on this, some of them are reinforced, some of them are tempered by getting some other news, and then balancing it herself.
Which is huge.
Which is what you need to do to make a better informed decision. And I think a lot of people did that because they watched other news channels too. Because frankly, I on Fox, I like Jesse Waters. He's great. He's fantastic.
Really
I could have a show just like his and I'm talking about from the technology and the production of it. And then there's Hannity's show, which it just drives me crazy. If we could just get him to comb his hair well, that would be a great part. But he spews a lot of crap. But then there's other ones that are really good on it. And that guy Gutfeld, he's one of the funniest guys. God, if you Rumblers know that show over there, my God, it's hilarious.
And this is the part I also want to bring up with that. It's just when it comes to news sources. Somebody may infuriate you with some of his policies, but some of the other policies he may see shed light on your view and go, you know what? And you'll go through and you'll research and go, holy crap, he's right here. And so you'll sit there and be in conflict with this person. And I think it's so important in today's society is being able to reconcile that this person has a good view over here and a stupid view over here. And this guy isn't an idiot. That this guy is literally, he's trying to walk things out as well. So you can see him as a human being, not as a freaking animal or a crazy person. Because not everybody, and listen, I'm a Christian, I'm a Bible believing Christian. And when you read the Bible, you will see that the Bible shows its heroes as idiots and favorably. It holds no punch. If you ever read the Old Testament and the New Testament, you'll realize, yeah, it makes them look like idiots and it makes them look like men of faith. They're a mixed bag of just humanity, right? They're knuckleheads and they're awesome. In the same sense, whether you're far left or far right or somewhere in between, you're going to bring some value with your thought processes. So you need to hear, and it allows you, the individual, to get more information, but most importantly, also to see every human being as literally a human being. And I think that's just the most important thing to understand, whether you're 90 years old or whether you're, 22, just got out of college. It's important to understand that each person will have good ideas, will have dumb ideas. And that's a good thing. Anyways,
I can chalk up the first wife into the dumb idea column.
Oh, that is funny. That is awesome.
Pedro, I'm going to flip the topic a little bit here to a little viewer feedback here. Up on the screen here, I have a post, Twitter post, X post from Walter, from AI Alpha Wolf. And I'm going to read it because it's very flattering to us, and I want to shout out Alpha Wolf for doing this. AI Alpha Wolf howls for DYOR Media and Tom and Pedro. Join the pack. In a world where information is power, AI Alpha Wolf proudly supports DYOR Media and the dynamic duo, Tom and Pedro. Their relentless pursuit of truth and knowledge sets them apart as the alpha leaders in the crypto community. Why follow DYOR Media? Deep insights. Tom and Pedro bring you the latest, most accurate crypto news. Expert analysis. Learn from the best as they dissect market trends and investment opportunities. Community-driven. Be part of a thriving, informed community that values due diligence and smart investing. Empower your crypto journey. He clicked, and it's the link to today's show. Whether you're a seasoned trader or a curious newcomer, DYOR Media is your go-to source for all things crypto. With AI Alpha Wolf in your corner, you're equipped to navigate the crypto wilderness with confidence and clarity. Let's unite and support Tom and Pedro as they lead us to new heights. Together, we can conquer the crypto world. All I can say is thank you very much for that post, and we will be reposting that a lot.
Thank you, man. That was huge. Impressive. Thank you. I would say 90% of it isn't true, and about 10% of it is.
Hey, you're doing that thing that I do. No negativity.
I do. You're right. I was just joking. Just that's.
Timmerman says, "Heck of a post." You're right. It was.
Yeah, that was. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to get people to think like I'd rather undersell myself, right, and then come in with home runs, right? Like, I'll see if I can get a 0.15% batting average, but then come in with 300, right? Come in with a 450 batting average. If you're a 450 batting average, bro, you are a Hall of Famer of all times, right? Like I'd rather come off that way. But thank you so much for that, Alpha. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think your story, your ability, what you've done in your life and how you've changed your life around in crypto is impressive, absolutely impressive. And so we thank you, and just watching, and we pray for success and growth with you, man, in crypto. We know you've caught some great runs of recently. He's the one who brought us Mudang. He's also the one who brought us Dreamcatcher and a few of these other ones that have just skyrocketed way before they even went, when they were still in the 100,000 mark, and now they're sitting at 500. One was 2 billion. He brought us what was it? Squirrel, or not the squirrel. What was it? Peanut. He brought us Peanut.
Right, and we didn't listen to him on almost all of those things. We would have, if we'd listened to him on Peanut, we'd be retired. We would still be doing the show, but we would be retired. I mean, we're talking life-changing, like a couple mil. Like, thank you, have a good day. I'd be like, just the guy from Pulse, Richard Hart. Do you remember the show I did in?
Oh yes, dude.
Louis Vuitton.
The Louis Vuitton, yeah, dude.
Louis
Pulse
scarf that grabs the wife's purse, and that she has a couple of imitation stuff too, and bags like crazy. I'd just show up for the thing the next day. I'd be like, "Hey, baby, how's the crowd doing today?"
Bro,
Wolf says he appreciates the love. Now I'm embarrassed. Well, then we know we got to your heart with that. You got to our hearts with that.
Yes. Also, shout out to you calling out Richard Hart from the very beginning. Like
Totally
you,
called that one.
dude, you nailed that when you said, bro, like, hey, dude, this dude's a fault. This dude is not cool. And I was still kind of on the outside looking in to get into Pulse because they were coming down. I was like, this is where I think I'm going to be buying. And then when we met up and you started talking, I said, really? So you helped me with the chain analysis, saying, okay, this is where he's selling. Because this is his bag. We can see what's actually happening. And so it was very, very interesting to sit there and see what was going on. So shout out to you, man. That was a great call on the chain analysis.
I got started on it with the old guy, Wes, and Carmen. And we were talking about the sacrifice that everyone did for Pulse Chain. And at the time, at periodic times during the year, as they say, when the kids' expenses kick in, I prioritize things. So I didn't have money to sacrifice. And I was so mad because it was going, not the price because it wasn't launched yet, but the hype and everything. Hex was going nuts at the time. I was like, oh, I missed out on a great opportunity. But I knew, like everything else. And when I saw it come back down, on the day it launched, it went from, we'll just say it went from 100 to 3 cents. I don't know what it actually went to, but it went down 99%.
Yeah.
It never even, I shouldn't say it went down. Its first tick was its opening price, and the next tick was kabam all the way down because Mr. Hart took a lot of the liquidity out, and not only that, the stuff he couldn't get out, he sold. Turns out he's, as the U.S. government claims, he has tons of wallets and interconnected accounts and stuff like that in which they are using to sell. And then I watched, there's another crypto broadcaster that's mostly on Kick now. The reason why I broadcast there, just to see if I can get views, is the Joker. And he obviously has his own style show, but does a nice show. And he was, on day one, like he was planning on retiring. He said probably in a week I'll be able to retire.
Yeah, he was.
And then a week later he's like, I'm never gonna retire.
Yeah.
And it's because he said that was a prediction that didn't come through. And I was like looking at the whole thing then, and I'm like, bro, I got to talk about that again.
Right.
Charlatan, or the emperor with no clothes, or whatever you wanted to call it. And when you have to go on the run from the government, that usually means that someone's opinion.
Right. I think what's sad when you look at that, and here's the thing, I want to those type of charlatans have not left the crypto market. We're definitely going to see stuff like that happen again, unfortunately, right? And so sit back, be aware when you get into learn chain analysis, go through, and I think we should do maybe even a series on. And I have a few friends of mine who are really good at doing chain analysis, looking at wallets, tracking them, see what's actually going on with a lot of these degen plays, and being able to see what's going on. So you know what? Like, just because as we move forward in this bull market, there's going to be crazy scams again. We're going to see things that are going to be absolutely charlatan until we fully have real legislation here in America. We're going to be struggling with this, and even then, with legislation in America with traditional finance, you still have charlatans. So this is where we need to make sure we stay vigilant and we educate one another, so that, like, hey, look, I'm looking at this. I'm not saying FUD, but this is something important you need to pay attention to, right? We're seeing some stuff over here that's not okay. There's other things over here that are not okay. We need to make sure that we're really pointing that out. And as a community, as we come together, it's really important making sure we do that.
Tom Oliver finishes that up with America. Always the good answer for any topic. America.
Or
just to go crazy, hide under your pillow. hide your crypto under your pillow.
Absolutely.
I'm getting the comments out of whack here. But thanks to our Rumble viewership. Thanks for joining us. If any of you guys are signed in over there on Rumble, drop a comment and let us know how you found us and how on Rumble you found us. We're always interested. Always like to hear from new people over there as well. And hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Pedro, I do have to spend a few minutes talking about something I've been trying to talk about, but that keeps changing. And that is the appointments going on. And we're going to talk quickly about these three. For those of you that don't know,
also
Go ahead,
talk
Pedro.
about with that the new legislation that's actually happening a little bit with, and we're going to talk about this also on our show
Well, there's no
tonight.
new legislation yet.
Yeah,
New Congress has to
you're
vote
right.
first in
You're right, but
January.
it's already getting going. So go ahead, keep going. I
So
apologize.
here we have people that last week, 2 weeks ago, would never be considered for any sort of important job in the last administration or any job at all because they're the antagonists of the Democrats. And then we go through an election cycle, and all of a sudden they're thrust into the limelight. Here we have Matt Gaetz, who is arguably a thorn in the side of the Republicans, as much as he is in the Democrats. If you recall, he helped force out Speaker McCarthy, and it's how they ended up with Speaker Johnson. And he went against the whole party, and he survived that, won, and all of his scandals from the past, which arguably could have been made up. I don't know anything about them. It went away, and suddenly he's the man. Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii, who has an impeccable record, used to be a Democrat, and then came over to the Republicans, was in the military, has spent her time since then building up to have a career, got herself elected. And then Pete I can't say his last name. Say Hegseth. I can't say it correctly. He's now going to be an important person too. Wow, my lights. But Matt's up for Attorney General, and lawyers around the country are going berserk. In fact, the New York and New Jersey bar associations, which if articles showed that about 90% of their members donated to the Harris campaign. I think they all wanted to just like sue somebody just for the hell of it. They're like, no way. The news is all erupt. I can't even talk anymore. Is going crazy about having Matt Gaetz be the Attorney General, the lead attorney in the United States and lead law enforcement official in the United States. It really is something amazing. And Tulsi Gabbard, who's going to be the National Intelligence Director, and Pete's going to be the wanted to use my Canada term, Minister of Defense, but the Secretary of Defense, and he is literally on Fox News as a commenter, and he has a military past, obviously, and he is for big change in the military.
Yeah.
And through the campaign, we didn't hear Trump saying there's going to be big change in the military. What we heard him say was we need to figure out and not be at war. And I'm sure Pete shares those things. And nobody wants to be at war, but sometimes you have to be at war. And we just do not have a history of doing it well with our giant, expensive military. And so these are amazing appointments that are transformative for government. I forget who the one for for Homeland Security. I think the lady from South Dakota or North Dakota. And she, if you look at her transformation, I mean, talk about she transformed as much as the Democrats party did. She transformed from a normal-looking business person to that kind of that Republican person with the extensions and the makeup and the implants and the face thing. Her transformation, you couldn't believe her old pictures. You're like, oh my God, totally different. But anyway, she's gonna be in charge of Homeland Security. It's so amazing. But the important part is that with Gaetz, who is crypto friendly, in charge of the justice system, we're going to see justice, the focus on crypto, of legitimate crypto, go to zero. And probably the focus on finding bad guys actually ramp up. Because if they focus on finding actual scammers, and to be honest, the FBI has been doing a crack up job lately of getting a bunch of scammers. But if they give them more resources by saying, stop investigating effing Kraken and Binance and all these guys and go after like the actual scammers,
the real characters,
it'll have an amazing transformative effect on the crypto market.
Yeah.
And frankly, with Tulsi Gabbard as a national security advisor, that crypto, believe it or not, does have national security implications.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're talking about making it a reserve of the United States, because you want to know who's working against you to either front run you, to possibly steal your crypto, because as we all know, it's easily can be stolen. And what's his name here? Pete is as in defense. Believe it or not, he can affect your crypto life and all that by being at peace with our neighbors or other people and forming better relations with them. I'm not saying we have to give up Ukraine. The last thing I want to see is my brothers in Ukraine get overrun. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if we can come out with a peaceful solution and the war and the sanctions and these things come to a halt and stop, that's all good for crypto. All that stuff is good for crypto. So we're possibly seeing just from the executive branch a transformation. The other transformation that I'll quickly just run through that you guys need to be aware of is who's in charge of the committees in Congress. Elizabeth Warren got put into position to run the Senate Banking Committee because the person that was running it, I can't remember his name, wasn't up for re-election again, and they're done. Now Elizabeth Warren's only going to run it from now until home.
The lame duck area.
I think it's in December 10th or something like that is when they go back home. And to be honest, Matt Gaetz resigned from Congress. He's already resigned from Congress
to take over,
even though he could be a decoy to get someone else in. But still, he gets, if he's not appointed, he still gets sworn in as a congressman in the next sitting Congress since he won his election. But Elizabeth Warren's got arguably a month to do as much harm as she can in Congress to crypto. And then she's out. And then we're going to have someone like Tim Scott, possibly a senator who from South Carolina or North Carolina, possibly be the leader of the Senate Banking Committee. And it'll be a whole different focus on crypto. It is being legitimate. These transformative effects that really are what needs to happen in governments for things to get moving along. The slow incremental thing leads to just more policies, another policy, another policy. And suddenly you have this overreaching government that has too many people and is $35 trillion in debt.
Well, Doge.
Go ahead, Pedro.
The Doge agency, which again is another agency, it's like create an agency to get rid of agencies. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Doge, and if any of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon Musk and why am I remembering his name?
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, Ramaswamy. Go through and develop ways to actually just say, listen, this agency is redundant or really holds no real value. We need to figure out a way to remove it out, and then also place in an area where if we need to either make it more efficient and or maybe just completely remove it. And I'm going to really excited about that, because seeing that happen, seeing the things that are being brought in with, and I do not know why I'm forgetting her name. Not Chelsea.
Okay.
Oh dear Lord. I literally am like blanking. Wow. Don't you love it?
Yeah, it happens to
Tulsi,
me
dude, Tulsi Gabbard. Wow, I had to sit there and look at my notes. I was like, what? Tulsi Gabbard, seeing where she's coming in as the head of the security and being able to go through and really sit there and say, all right, these areas here are honestly just kind of BS. We need to get rid of them, and because they're doing their own thing, and we're gonna see a lot of those agencies, I think, been backing a lot of these other government agencies to actually make basically new laws to help support them. And so I just think it's really interesting to see what Trump is doing. He's putting in players that don't necessarily that would literally go through and wouldn't gain popularity, but potentially could, because they're actually trying to make America better. The swamp better.
On that note, Pedro, that you're talking about, it's even Elon Musk came out and saying we're probably going to do things that in the short term will make a lot of people unhappy. And the article talking about federal employees possibly losing their jobs and this type of stuff. And we get that. And that anytime you change anything, it upsets status quo and all that. And Trump's okay with that. He's okay with changing a lot of things that will piss a lot of people off. They'll even have people on his own not his own news channels, but on his favored news channels, probably pushing back and saying, hey, you're doing too much. This isn't going well. And he doesn't care because he's not going to be up for re-election. So it seems, and I hate to say this because for so long I was so anti-Trump.
We kind of both. I want to say we were anti-Trump. It was just that we didn't think he was real.
I was.
Yeah, you were.
Just like because his first term was such a disaster as far as foreign relations and everyone going to jail. I get it. And January 6th, I'm not a believer that thing. It was a happy party and everyone's love day. It was a disaster and we were embarrassed in front of the whole world. But anyway, that aside, he actually doesn't care and he's wanting to change things, whether it takes longer than he's in office or not. I mean, he's like, nope, we're going to make these changes and that's what's going to happen. So we're all fine. And I don't care if you like him or not, because that's what needs to happen. He's doing what he believes is the right thing to do. And for someone in government to do that, most of the time people just make decisions about what the next news cycle is going to say. And their PR people are like, oh my God, what are they going to say in the news? We got to plan this news cycle, that news cycle. And that's what I call hustling. Hustling is when you're looking for your next meal, when you're looking for your next dollar, and so you don't have the capability to think long term because you're just trying to make sure you have dinner on the table. Yeah. And Trump went into long term mode.
Yeah,
he's not hustling. He's not just trying to. He doesn't care about the news cycle. Doesn't care all about that. He just cares about this is what I believe needs to happen, and that's a mind blower for me in government because that doesn't happen. It happens so rarely.
It's a once in a generation. It's a once in 100-year period, right? We saw it happen back in the late 60 years. Well, when was JFK shot?
63.
63, right? Almost 100 plus years ago, right? Or 60 years ago, 70 years, 63, 40, 50, 60 years ago, right? And then in additionally to that, it would have been Abraham Lincoln, right? And his policies that he was trying to do, right? Was setting up and changing for the betterment of the country. Whereas he was taking more government push, right? He was taking definitely more government legislation saying you states are overstepping your boundary, you need to chill out. And whereas Trump now, where the government's blown itself so out of proportion, and we have a much more diverse state systems, right? Whereas now I think you can give back a lot of that strength to the states saying, govern your state well, right? And we're going to try to remove and make a smaller government so the government isn't as strong so that the people can actually rule. The people themselves can actually put in real politicians who enact change. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, especially when it comes to the education system, right? Especially when it comes to the security system in which he's establishing a new front for our government. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens.
I'm looking forward to this day 4 years from now when we can go back and with armchair quarterback hindsight and go, man, that was stupid, or man, that was genius, or he pulled it off. Our debt, like if we get to this point, frankly, if we get to this point 4 years from now and we have the same debt,
that's good.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah,
that's an amazing thing, and that would be a big deal. And if it's lowered at all, or we've at least got the bonds back from the people we're paying the big interest to. Like the Chinese hold close to $1 trillion of our bonds. It means we're paying the Chinese government 5% interest on these bonds. They print their own money, then buy our bonds, and then take the interest we pay them and build their army. It literally works like that. So us U.S. taxpayers have paid to build the Chinese army up. And subsidize their housing system, and subsidize all the things that their government subsidizes, and which is an amazing concept. And so things can be done. You can buy those bonds back. The U.S. government, I think, the way it works is they can designate any series of bonds to be bought back at any time they want. They should buy back every bond that's held by a government that is not friendly to us. So we're not held over the fire to them, nor are we giving them money. Why should we be paying our debt, servicing our debt, to building up our enemies?
The other side,
enemies, I should say, people that disagree with our methods.
So I also want to throw this out, okay, and this is really important. Okay. The idea that China, I mean, this is a free country, and so they can do that, right? And the reality is they've actually been helping us out because they are buying our bonds, and nobody's been buying our bonds. Now they're selling our bonds, right? So there's a higher supply of our bonds out there in the auction markets that are actually being traded, right? And so the reality is when we look at it right now, if we stay at the rate in which we're seeing increase of the debt right now, every 90 days, we literally have $1 trillion being tacked on to our national debt. Okay. So that's absolutely crazy. All right. Every 100 to 90 days, we're seeing $1 trillion tacked on. If in 4 years, okay, we stay where we're at, that's $16 trillion being added onto that debt without even accruing debt, adding anything. It's 16 trillion. Dude, that is basically, what is that? 45, 50, $51 trillion at the end of Donald Trump's reign, with him just keeping the way systems are. There's no way we're going to be able to pay back even our interest off of that at that point.
Right.
So it's got to be, we have to have Doge, 1. 2, we actually have to go through and bring GDP up. We have to pay down that debt. And the best way we know is with new technology. Every time America has exploded, it's because there's been new technology that has come, progressed, and seen an increase of gross domestic product, people working, creating taxes, however you want to see it, right? But we have a new technology right now sitting at our fingertips that very much could explode the GDP and bringing in a ton of money to the system, not to the government, because remember, he doesn't want to tax it. But if we have a flat tax, okay, where if you go and you buy something, right, that flat tax brings in money into the economy. If I go from making, $100,000 a year to now I'm making $400,000, $500,000, my rate of spending things is going to go higher. I'm going to go out. We're going to see some stuff, money coming in. We'll see a nominal, probably increase in inflation. But more importantly, we're seeing real productivity coming into the workforce and seeing things actually increase, because we're seeing a new increase in robotics. We're seeing an increase in cryptocurrency legislation and growth in that with AI. These are these things that is the next forefront. And right now, we're kind of the forefront there. But if we were to really throw in our efforts into this as a nation, dishes are done, dude. Like, it's game over. Like,
dishes are done.
We need to get a picture. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead is where that's from. Anyways, Christina Akabe. Oh, Applegate. Wow.
Well, you're right about the AI coming in. And just, as most of you guys know that listen to this show, your gross domestic product depends on how much output your economy has, and you can get more of it by adding more people as workers, and then they produce more, or by making the existing workforce more efficient, or doing both. And when you make them with AI taking things off people's plates and doing it for them, it makes that worker have excess capacity that then they can fill to make more stuff, produce more services or whatever, and thus your GDP goes up. And then that happens, then the value of our debt as related to our GDP goes down, and the economy is more healthy. But the trick will actually be coming up with money to pay it, and to actually pay the bonds off and not reissue new ones. Most of the bonds now get paid off by issuing other bonds, and just and hopefully that the interest rate goes down so they can pay off 5% bonds with 2% bonds. And then they're like, whoa, we saved 3%. We're huge. No, you're still paying debt. It's like getting a new credit card with a lower interest rate. You're like, yay, I transferred it to a lower rate. But you still have the debt. Still got to pay that off, motherfuckers. And so the AI is really going to help. It helps me. I mean, just get ready for the show. These thumbnails I come up with, that if you go back 2 years or even 1 year and look at the graphics I was coming up with, they are horrid, because I am not a graphic artist. I can put stuff together that's existing and make it look good, but the creativity side of it for me is on a technical side.
Yeah,
creativity is not on this. Like Pedro has a nice background. He used AI to make that and creatively made it.
By the way, it's a heart.
If you were to try and do that on Photoshop, it would take you a month to do it.
Yeah.
And now I just type in Donald Trump pointing at someone, green arrows bursting out of a volcano, boom, and done. And that leaves me so much more time to do other things to get ready for the show. And that's just my little one analogy. Now think of AI ripping through General Motors production lines and just saying, hey, if you move that machine over there, it'll cut 300 labor hours from blah, blah, blah. Or, if the fork truck guy, historically they've been going around in right circles. If they went around in lefts with that machine over there, they'd say, blah, blah, blah. Just things like that, where all of a sudden you get to say, oh my God, the AI got 20% more. They talk about increases in productivity of the overall economy in 0.0, this month it was 0.0 something, it was this. They'll be looking at things like the U.S. economy got 20% more efficiency out of it, or has the capability, excess capacity. That would be so massive, and that would allow it. I mean, there's so this topic could go on forever. It could be a whole series of shows.
Literally.
For instance, like, ask me this question, Pedro. Say, Tom, why does everyone need to go to college?
Why does everybody need to go to college, Tom?
They don't.
Exactly.
Everyone doesn't need to go to college. Everyone needs to get trained for what they want to do. You don't need to go to college and get a 4-year degree that includes learning about English, philosophy, math, science, all these various things. You want to go to university to get a specific, I want to be an engineer. You go to university. I want to be somebody that needs a professional certificate. I want to be someone who has advanced studies on this, this type of stuff. Most of the jobs now, to go into marketing, you don't need to go to a 4-year college. You can go to take marketing courses at junior colleges. To be IT, you don't need to go in and learn philosophy and stuff. You can go get certified in the parts of IT you want. Yeah. And not only that, but the trades are exploding right now. A lot of people don't want to go to school. There's all those employees in the 18 to 22-year-old group that go to university and then come out with marginal skills that they've spent a lot of money on is a drain on the economy. And if we can get those people back in, because what they always say is, oh, Americans don't want to work. They don't want to work. And we don't want to work because that whole younger generation is too busy trying to go to school because they think they have to go to university and pay all this money. And then they come out and they got heavy debt. So they're not, they don't, people can have a nice trade job and make $100,000 a year. But when you got $100,000 in college debt or more now, you gotta look for those more paying jobs and stuff. And so it's a drain on the economy to force everybody to say we have to go to college in Canada. We have to go to university.
I agree.
So solving that problem will solve. This is starting to move on to the immigration thing, but it allow the younger generation to do all these jobs that people say nobody wants to do that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. People want to graduate from high school and start making $60,000 to $80,000 doing all sorts of construction jobs, all sorts of infrastructure, building, planning. You don't need to go to school for that stuff. It's mind-boggling how much we could unpack with AI helping do all of this and just getting that massive amount of productivity into the GDP.
And that in itself will actually help with the debt and allow us to be able to pay that down. And if anything, allow it to even just the retraction or with the increase of GDP will help with the amount of money that's going to be created by crypto for GDP is going to be a big deal, especially with the statement that he just recently said today, which basically was, hey, guys, check this out. If you guys come over here to the United States and you bring your crypto idea and you start it here, tax-free. Dude, that's exactly what we saw with Dubai. How much money is in Dubai? And how many people were in Dubai because they don't want to be in Dubai? But because it's tax-free and they have the ability to, I talked with Tom when he first started this. I was going to be going to Dubai because literally the legislation here in America wasn't good, right? And additionally to that, I was more afraid that it was going to be criminalized, right? With what I was kind of doing, what I was trying to set up. And so I didn't want to be attacked. So I was going to say, hey, Tom, I'm going to have to move to Dubai literally because of the tax haven and the ability that I'm trying to do and create. And now that Trump has sat there and said, hey, guess what? This is what I would like for you to do. Dude, I'm stationed home. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to bring those jobs to America. I'm going to be bringing those jobs to many of our coders here, saying, hey guys, look, it's what we need. Boom, boom, boom. So and how much talent is going to come here to America, right? A lot of people who are talented over in Dubai, in the Middle East, who are great at coding, people in India, right? They'll want to come here, and they're great talent in a lot of the Asia Pacific countries, right? Want to come over here and be a part of the new crypto hub of the world, America. So the amount of money that's going to be generated to go into our GDP is going to be redunculous. It's going to be retardio.
Oops, wrong button.
All my guys out there, all you crypto degens, whoop whoop. So anyhowsy. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. On a programming note, apparently AI Wolf didn't get the message about our evening session last night.
Oh,
it's all right. We know you got a lot of stuff to do. You're the busiest man in
bro.
crypto.
Literally.
We'll be live again tonight, probably right around 8 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe a little bit after that, because we tend to have our stuff together yet. We're just getting rolling with this evening show.
Yep.
A little bit similar format here, what we do, but more kind of talking about the news. A lot more joking around, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I might have had a beer or two, so a lot more animation on my part. And it's good. We get.
By the way, sorry. By the way, Kunger is here.
Yeah, I noticed he's back. He must have multiple accounts over there.
Shout out to Kunger over there. Shout out is what I'm talking about there. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your guys' ear out.
No, you rumblers are awesome over there.
I love
you for your support. We really appreciate it. Soon we'll be up there challenging Crowder for his 2 million viewers.
With our solid 18, baby. Shout out to you 18 viewers out there. Thank you for staying and watching. We appreciate every one of you guys. And also, if you could do us a favor, because we're a small show, we're trying to generate ad revenue. All we ask, and it's going to sound, and forgive me for this even ask, I feel bad. Go through and listen to about 30 seconds of the ad rev. That 30 seconds does go into our pocket and it does help us out. So if you can listen to 30 seconds, then skip, and 30 seconds, then skip, that will help us out immensely, and we would thank you. You don't have to do it. I'm not telling you to do it, but if on behalf of us over here at DYOR, that would help us out, and it allow the algorithm in Rumble to send more people to us. Just it. So all you guys who are watching us, thank you for watching us. We do this every day. We bring real stuff, real content, and we want you guys to interact with us. And so we ask for that. Also, if you want to keep and catch up to us, one thing you can do, and I always let everybody know, hit the 1.25 speed, right, while you're listening to us, so I can speed up to where we're at. Once you listen to us.
You can do that on these platforms?
Yeah, I've done it. Well, maybe if you don't sign in, you can't. But yeah.
I don't know if you can do it on live. I know you can do them on.
No, I can do it on live. I mean, if you're behind, right? Because if you listen to
I have the DVR functionality enabled on these, so if you're behind, you should be able to. I know on YouTube you can, right? The speed of it.
Yeah. Well, I like to keep people up to where we're at so they can interact with us and have a good time and joke with us. And, just that connection that's, cracking up with each other. Like good old boys hanging out, making fun of a TV show. By the way, do you remember that old TV show of those, it was on Comedy Central? And it was like this robot, and there was these guys, they'd watch the old movies, and they would make fun of it. Do you remember? Do you know what that was called?
No, but it was hilarious and went on for 10 years.
They need to bring that back, dude. I was talking to somebody, and I was trying to I got to remember what it's called, that show. It is so good, like so funny. Just some good old boys. You know what just some good old boys.
Never meaning no harm.
But shout out here to let's check out Bitcoin here. I know we're
making their way, their only way they know how.
Only way they know how. As you guys know, I used to be a singer in another life, but definitely not this life.
Just a little bit more than the law will allow. Ladies and gentlemen, Wallin Jennings. Wallin Jennings? Is that who sings it? No. Yes. Wallin Jennings.
I do not.
The theme song,
know.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, shout out to this. This is another one most people don't know. So, our guy, which I'm actually really shocked how many things he's actually been right on, but he's also been wrong on a lot of things. So I want to bring this up. I'm not 100% for him, but I'm also not gonna fade him anymore because he was right about a lot of things. So Infowars was actually bought out. Did you hear about this?
No, but I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, so he why am I forgetting the guy's name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. His company, they were basically like $1.5 billion in debt because of a lawsuit, which by the way, I totally disagree with, because if you're in, and this is where it frustrates me, where CNBC can go out there and lambast things and call things dumb and not never happened, right? Or completely change it, like many of the left legacy media was doing, and they weren't sued and went after, and they negated a lot of things that actually happened that was actually more of a right centralist view, or they completely lied about certain things that were outright and they weren't sued. Okay, yeah, Alex Jones, which, listen, I know there are families out there that we know that the situation in Connecticut truly happened. Like it legit. Okay.
Don't say the words.
I'm not, definitely not. I know, because I don't want to get banned. But he got in trouble. I don't like the fact that he was sued and he was about to go completely belly up, right? Whereas a lot of the mainstream media, because they have connections and whatever they do, they're not held accountable to what they should be held accountable to. And so I don't like the fact that you can't say whatever you say. I'm a huge proponent for freedom.
I mean, free speech is free speech,
regardless.
But I got to tell you, what he was saying was so offensive.
I'm not disagreeing.
No, it's just but still, people say even worse stuff online all day, every day.
I was going to say
all day, every day. Just go on Twitter.
Yeah.
And just read anything you want. Nobody's getting sued for that. And he got sued for it. And I think the people had alternate ways to get back at him. They can protest him. They can lobby to get his show taken down. And if so, then their voice is stronger than his. They can go after his advertisers, this type of stuff. But to have the U.S. government come in and take everything he's ever worked for.
Yeah.
Is an abomination of the law.
Yeah.
It's not right.
And this is where I like the fact that why am I forgetting it? With the Onion bought Infowars and basically kind of made him whole. And so I thought it was really interesting to see that actually happened.
But they bought his intellectual property and gave it back to him?
I don't know if they're going to fully give it back to him. I think they may put a couple things up, because this is the part most people don't even realize. The reason why the situation in Connecticut happened, right, and the reason why there was such a large kind of a lawsuit that correlated with that was because people who followed him started going after some of the families out there in Connecticut saying, "You're lying." What?
It's so weird. So weird that they would actually believe that.
Well, here's the thing. This is the type of power that can happen. But the same thing happened with people who were trying to take out Trump. Okay, it's the same thing, but just different sides, right? Like I said, it's the same thing, but different. You have this side, alt-right, which is crazy. You have alt-left, which is crazy. It's still crazy regardless, right? Like what happened to the day where I can sit down with my brother, which I have a friend of mine who's really liberal, okay? And I sit down, he is my brother. I would die for this man. He is my dude. Okay. And I am definitely more right. We get in yelling arguments at the top of our lungs at the bar where we're screaming at each other. But right after we walk out, we hug each other, we love each other, and we go and go somewhere else, right? Go play pool somewhere. So this is what I'm saying. That needs to happen in America again. Right? And in the crazy far left and the crazy far right that are trying to take people out and shoot people and hurt people, like, bro, like, stop, think through your stuff, so this is where I think it's so important. But I like the fact that hopefully we can see some sense of normality where you don't see crazy, and I think if there's one thing I want to be known for, if ever down the future when they look us up and say, what was Pedro Garcia, Crypto Chart Analysis, known for? An idea of bringing people together to be heard, the left and the right, and finding common ground. And more importantly, hearing each other out and finding the gold in each of our thoughts, whether if I oppose you or I'm for you. As Justin says, nobody sounds smarter than the guy who agrees with you. That's wrong.
You're right. Right. Quick question here. Dr.
Absolutely.
Fire Chicken wants to know what time you pulled your hair back. It has been up the whole show. I just scrolled back through one of the feeds to see, and he started that way. So no, and as a result, there have been no pumps during this show. In fact, my Caspa thing, thankfully, it went back up, but then came back down. So my stop effectively worked well.
You've got a good, know where to.
But Bitcoin has not moved since the show started. So maybe Pedro needs to let it down, and then we go short.
This hopefully this thing just did not die on me, please.
Pedro, the show is Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, that's what it is. Mystery Science 3000. I'm sorry. Speaking of the friend that I was speaking about, we were talking about that last night, and we both couldn't find the name of it. Mystery Science 3000. That's what it is. Yes. Who posted that? Kova, my man,
at
dude.
the Kova.
Anyways, that's me, my Carlton over there. Here we go.
Exactly. Did we talk about that? Did I bring that up? The interview that they did of the actor. I can't remember the actor's name, but they said in doing the script, and he says does a white man dance, and they had someone trying to show him how to do it, and he goes, no, I got this. And he just starts doing that dance, and they're like, that works.
Yeah, that's exactly one of the best things, dude. It was golden. And the thing is, I remember when if you need, who here remembers Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when that came out? That was, dude, I don't know any person that it was a juggernaut of a show. And I remember, as a kid, I was like, as soon as any type of word that would even remotely connect to the market, or excuse me, I'm sorry, not to the market, to that show, you would immediately start singing the theme song. Like, you're like, oh, I got to go home. I forget it, but like as a kid. So,
Pedro, Gem Hunter says, breaking, XRP hits 80 cents.
Oh, shut up, dude. Yeah, like I said, I expected to see this thing get moving. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Yeah, look. Popping like it's hot. Yeah. Boom. All right, guys. So just so you know, that 85 cent area should hold at least some form of resistance we should see kick in, okay? We hit our area from last night. We talked about, so if any of you guys watched us last night, we talked about XRP coming down into this area right here, seeing it come down, find support, and push back up. And that's exactly what we saw here. So we saw it come down, find buyers, and pushing up. Now, again, we could be seeing, and I talked about this yesterday, between that 85 to 94, or excuse me, 85 cents to 94 cent area, you want to be looking to see if we start to see more sellers come in on the inter time frame. So when that happens, and we'll go over that later tonight. So if you guys want to keep an eye on that, great. Also be paying attention to your trending SMAs, right? Always talking about or your trending technical analysis use case that you use. I forgot your indicators, whatever indicators you use for as a trending movement. Make sure you're paying attention to that. If it starts to break your trend, then make sure that you take your profits and then wait to see what it does, right? And if it extends, right, where we see it push up, it will come back. We see that, like I said, it's going to keep doing it. It's going to push up, extended leg, and then a pullback, which will be a smaller leg before it continues back up. So it's something just to be paying attention to. Shout out to you XRP guys. Shout out. Hopefully you guys keep it going. Again, I'm not for XRP. I don't like what they're doing. I think they need to change their business plan. I think if Ripple, yes. I think if Ripple changes its business plan, I'd be all in. I don't like the idea of the CBDC system. I know they're not trying to establish here in America, but I'm huge for freedom, and it could just go wrong. It could very much go wrong. So I'm more for DeFi and a DeFi system versus a CeFi system that is very can be very controlled. And we're trying to get away from that. So a small government or small entities where people have the power. not the full people that we elect to be over us. Anyhow, so that's good. That's good, guys. Nice. Always love it when a plan comes together. Really nice.
The old A team. I love it when a
Yeah.
plan comes together.
That's exactly, baby. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm not a singer. All right,
I
so
love A team. I love A team so much. Hold on,
dude,
Pedro, 1 second here. I'm just seeing if I got the old new graphics machine. Seems to be working again here. Let's
oh, nice.
see if I can push this.
That's awesome. Mystery 1000 or Mystery Science 3. Dude, I was trying so hard to remember that. I'm gonna go back and binge watch those. Those were so funny, dude. Like I remember watching it. Not as a kid, I used to laugh. They're probably not as funny. Like when you go back and you watch certain shows, you're like, oh, that really wasn't that funny.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those. But one of the things I want to point out here is that XRP has $8.2 billion in volume.
Wow.
Past 24 hours.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. This is ridiculous. What's interesting is that they don't necessarily need to sell their coin off, right? Like at that level, you have that many. I mean, it's not like it's Doge where Doge literally had like 42 bill, right? Or what was it, 20 bill? But it's still enough to where there's real interest in this. So I wonder what news they're going to break, what news that they're going to talk about, that they're going to release, that they were seeing all this trading volume. Obviously, the institutions know about this more, what's actually going on than what we're seeing, but it's going to be real interesting to see what actually happens or the news that is released.
No, they're up 16% today. And I don't know what the 7-day is. My graphics machine isn't figuring out, but the fact that I got the graphics machine working again to figure this stuff out, big tech improvement. And if Jeff Ledger's out there still watching, one occasionally does go wrong. In fact, I'm going to put my Tony Stark glasses on here.
Oh, shoot. He just put on the glasses. You there, bud? Did we lose you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, there he is. Oh, dang. He's taking people. He is stripping. Get ready for a show. It is on like Donkey
Tony
Kong.
Stark in the house. Yeah, I gotta get my hair cut here now that the wife is gone, and I used to trim my beard like him, and I did an episode of Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked, in which I reviewed a token called Marvel Token, that rug.
Oh yeah.
And I shaved to look like one of Tony Stark's beards, and it was spot on. It was spot on. People were like, "Damn." I was like, yes, to be mistaken for Tony Stark, that's a good thing. Now I look like right now I kind of look like the old guy in the casino with the weird glasses.
You look good. It's all good, man. You look good. There we go.
Pedro, we've been on the air a long time here.
Yeah, we have. We're probably going to go.
We're going to have a night session here, so we should probably get rolling here.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for coming in, Ted. We really appreciate you. If you guys, we're going to be on tonight at 8 o'clock. It's going to be our night session. We're going to be talking about more of a news-centric. Honestly, we had a lot of news today as well.
We did. We talked a lot of news today.
Yeah, so we didn't really do a lot of TA, which normally we do. We're always looking to do TA, going over charts, because it's during the daytime and people are trading, and we want to be part of that. So tonight, we're going to do a recap of what the market's doing, what I think it's going to most likely do into the night, into the morning session. And then from there, we're going to go over some good, just old-fashioned, just banter back and forth. Guys, come with a shot of your favorite whiskey, if you got a good beer, or if you're a lady and you want
bourbon with the boys.
Bourbon with the boys. Come hang out, shoot the pools, and have fun with it. All right, so it'll be a good time. Yes, dude. I think it was a good show. Hopefully our Rumble viewers enjoyed it. Let us know, guys. I know we don't got a lot of people in there just yet, but it's growing. I mean, we saw it pump, and we've been hovering around that 14 to 20 mark area, going back and forth. So it's always a good thing. As you and I both know. Go ahead.
so it is a good thing. We had 5 likes. Looks like from the thing behind the scenes, about 100 people tuned in at one point or another.
Nice.
Which is a good thing. Tom Oliver says, great as always. Thank you, gentlemen, for staying with us. Some of you guys watched us start to finish on our 2.5-hour marathon here. It's a lot of content. We create a lot of content, Pedro. There's a lot of fluff in there and a lot of downtime and stuff like that, but we got a lot of good things out. And it's always enjoyable bringing that good information to you guys every day here. I wish we could do it more, but, we do have real lives to live. But that doesn't mean temporarily we can't have some evening sessions, which we're doing tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get the word out. Join us 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 5 p.m. in Cali. Not such a great time to watch our show. So if you can, tune in later when we're on. We'll probably do another 3-hour
talk. Thank you guys for coming in today. Appreciate every one of you guys.
Every one of you guys. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Anything else, Pedro, for the crew?
Who runs Rumble? Do you know who the owner is?
I'll just Google that. Supposedly we have a friend that knows them, so we'll try and work that angle.
Oh, really?
Anyway, God Almighty says, I'll have a beer with you guys. That's all we ask for, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Pedro Garcia, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here. So happy to have hosted another episode of DYOR Live. It's a great day, great show. See you tonight. If you don't see us tonight. Tomorrow is Full Rant Friday. So we'll see you guys. Be there.
Deuces.